Are you just exhausted from feeding the content beast? That endless cycle of just listed posts that, let's be honest, all start to sound exactly the same? Well, in this explainer, we are going to show you how to turn a single property listing into a powerful, sustainable content engine. It's all about working smarter, not harder. I bet this feels familiar. You have to be posting to stay visible, but it feels like a constant scramble, right? Every new home just becomes the same old announcement, and that pressure to create something fresh and new is relentless. It's totally exhausting, and it's probably holding you back. And here's the thing, it's not just you. You are not alone in feeling this way. This is a super common industry challenge. The issue isn't a lack of hard work. We know you're putting in the hours. It's all about channeling that incredible energy in a smarter, more strategic way. So here's the key. We have to reframe the problem. This isn't some personal failing. It's not that you've run out of creative gas. No, it's a structural issue. And you know what's great about a structural issue? It has a clear structural solution. Okay, this right here is the core idea we're going to unpack. The big mindset shift is to stop seeing your listing as just a simple announcement and start seeing it for what it truly is, a rich, flexible, and really powerful marketing asset that you can leverage to build your brand and your business. And this breaks it down perfectly. The old way, well, it treats a listing as a one-time event. You post it, and poof, you're done. But the new way, the one we're going to focus on, sees that exact same listing as a treasure chest, a multi-use asset you can pull from again and again. So, what do we actually mean by a flexible marketing asset? It's actually pretty simple. Your listings are already your strongest content. Think about it. They're factual, they're visual, and they're tied to a real, tangible outcome. You just need a system to unlock all that potential and turn it into a content-generating machine. Okay, so you've made the mindset shift. Awesome. You see your listing as a marketing asset. But how do you actually put that into practice? Well, that's where the playbook comes in. We're going to walk through a really concrete set of actionable ideas you can start using, like, today. And this is the goal. We're not talking about 10 variations of the same just listed post. No way. We're talking about over 10 unique pieces of targeted, engaging content, all pulled from the raw materials of just one property. It's the definition of working smarter. And to make this super easy to remember, we've grouped all these ideas into 4 simple steps. First, we're going to reframe that initial announcement to make it way more engaging. Then, we'll spotlight the little details to connect with specific buyer needs. After that, we expand the story beyond just the property itself. And finally, we use it to prove your value and build a sustainable content library. Let's start with that classic, just listed post. Our first step. Instead of just announcing it, let's reframe it as an invitation. Use language that helps a potential buyer actually imagine their life in that home. Ask questions, tell a little story, make them feel like they're a part of it, not just being marketed to. Next up, let's spotlight the details. This is step 2. You see, every feature in a home can tell its own story and solve a specific problem for a buyer. For instance, a home office isn't just a spare room, it's the solution for a remote worker who desperately needs a quiet space to focus. Your job is to make that connection for them. Just look at the difference here. It's night and day. We go from a boring list of amenities to an actual story. 3-bed, 2-bath becomes a quiet zone for remote work. Large yard becomes an outdoor setup built for gathering. See, you're not selling features, you're selling a lifestyle. Think short-form video is just too complicated or time-consuming? It really doesn't have to be. You can take that same listing description, break it down into a few key talking points, and use that to create a structured 30-second script, literally in moments. This takes all the guesswork out of what to say on camera and makes creating video feel like a breeze. And this is where it gets really, really powerful. You can use a simple prompt just like this one to generate a ready-to-use script in seconds. And notice how specific it is. It defines the format, the target audience, the tone, and even the length. This gives you a totally tailored and effective script that you can use to create engaging video content without all the stress. Here's another really powerful reframe. And this one helps prove your value. Just take those common questions buyers always ask and turn them into a buyer's guide post for that specific property. This positions you as a helpful, transparent guide rather than just a salesperson, and that builds incredible trust with your audience. Now, I know what you might be thinking. This all sounds great, but who has the time to create all this content? And that's a fair point. That's where your new assistant comes in. Let's talk about how AI can accelerate this entire process without ever replacing your expertise. Think of it like this. You're the strategist. You understand the buyer, you know the community, you set the market strategy. AI is your execution partner. It translates your insights into different formats, outlines talking points, and generates drafts in seconds, freeing you up to focus on what you do best. And the best part is that the tools to do this are incredibly accessible. You can use platforms like ChatGPT or Claude to draft your scripts and posts. Then you can pop over to Canva to turn that text into clean, professional visuals. And for video, the editing tools are built right into Instagram and TikTok. No fancy software needed. Okay, but here's a really crucial point. Using these tools is all about strengthening your execution, not cutting corners. Professional standards are absolutely non-negotiable. You have to make sure all the facts are accurate, the images reflect reality, and that you're following all your brokerage and disclosure rules. AI is an amazing tool, but it is not a substitute for your professional judgment. So, what's the ultimate payoff for adopting this system? Well, it's about moving from these one-off posts to creating a sustainable library of content that proves your value over and over again. This means you'll have a constant stream of high-quality content to share, which will help you build your brand, attract new clients, and, close more deals. This right here is the key distinction. You're not just repeating the same announcement over and over. You're reusing the core asset, the listing, to tell multiple stories from different angles. This reduces that constant pressure to create something new from scratch while increasing your brand's consistency and impact. This quote really just says it all. You don't need more ideas, you need a smarter way to use the ones you already have. The solution to getting off that content treadmill isn't about finding more things to talk about. It's about finding a smarter, more systematic way to use the powerful stories you already have. And that really brings us to the final question for you. Your next listing isn't just a property, it's a story waiting to be told. In fact, it's probably a dozen different stories. So the question is, which one are you going to tell first?